All right. So I know some people that watch this might agree or disagree. Honestly, I don't really care because it's the truth and it's how it really is in this world. Whether we want to admit it to ourselves or not, that's not up to me. But society is a made up term from people that are involved with the social cult of society. Society is make believe to people like me because I know what it is. I know that it's a bullshit concept. See, people that are in the social approval cult are those who say that there is a society out here. They say it's society's fault for why this happened to me. See, right when someone says something like that, and I'm just using an example, right when someone says, society did this to me, you know that that person is still going by everything that they've been conditioned to think. What the TV told them, what their parents once told them, what the schools once told them. And how does this social cult come about? How does this social approval cult come about? Most people teach their kids stupid things that the kids are not learning anything at a younger age. What do we give our kids today? Little Mermaid, Mickey Mouse, these they call them child stories and child books, and we make our children stupid. We make them dumb. We dull them down. And this is what the powers that be want. They want your children to be involved with this because they sell a lot of products with this. They sell a lot of bullshit with this to the children and the adults because everybody else is getting involved with the social festivities that the adults just go with it. If I had a kid, which I'm not having kids myself, but if I did have a kid, I would be giving my kids seeds to plant. I would be giving my kids scientific things to experiment with. I would be giving my kids tools to build something with. I would get my kids a piece of land so that they could start building their own thing at a very young age. But what do we do? What do we do with our children? We indoctrinate them with petty, stupid things, irrelevant things that don't mean anything. It's not doing anything for the child but making them more stupid. This is something that Charles Bukowski said. He said, I hate Mickey Mouse. And I'm someone, I despise these things because, and yeah, I know some people will say, oh, well, I really like cartoons and I like playing with toys. Listen, there was a time where I liked toys too. I collected toys when I was younger. And I don't have a problem with people that collect toys, like a collector. But I'm talking about the mindset of how when we're younger that we are indoctrinated with these things and then the parents go along with it and then the kid is being raised with these things and then anything on TV the parents follow and the children follow with the parents and then you go to school to get indoctrinated more. See, if I would have knew this, if I would have knew these things at an early age, I would not be in this apartment where I'm at today. I would not be here. I wouldn't be here. My life would, if I would still be alive, my life, I would be somewhere on a piece of land on my own, doing my own thing, planting my own food, doing what I'm saying in some of these latest videos that I'm saying, because that's what I really want to do. I'm not just saying these things. Right now, I am preparing, not putting too much pressure on myself, but I'm preparing myself to get away from this whole construct of what we've been programmed and conditioned and indoctrinated to think we have to do. You first have to realize how programmed you have been. You have to first realize how conditioned you really are, how indoctrinated you really are. If you don't come to these terms as a person, more than likely you're just going along with all of the social approval of society's cult that really doesn't exist. It only exists in the minds of people that think there's a society because they are the social approval cult. And I know this is going to fly over a lot of people's heads, because if you're a socialite, then you're going to think that I'm talking about you specifically. I'm not saying that I have a problem with saying hi to someone, or can I help you with something today? I'm not saying that I won't conversate with people. I'm not saying that I won't say a few words to someone. But it's only these little interactions that are needed for someone that is logical or has common sense or is rational or knows when enough is enough of something, to not just keep going on and on and on and on and on and on and on about nothing. And even I feel like that sometimes when I do videos, or when I used to do videos, I started getting it in my head like, Nate, you're really not saying too much here. It's like, instead of talking about it, be about it. Instead of saying words all the time, take action to do something, and I already called myself a hypocrite before. I'm involved with the hypocrisy myself sometimes, and I find myself getting involved with things that I really don't want to get involved with, but I have to get a need provided, if that makes sense. If I had my needs and I could go off in a land on my own, and I could have my own little hut or my own little house or shelter, and I could have my own food, and I could have clean water, I wouldn't need anything from these people out here. I wouldn't need anything from anybody. I would be there and I would be doing things on my own. I would be recording my stuff. I would be doing my thing, because I want nothing to do with this social cult anymore. It is something that once you see it, and you see it for what it really is, you will be in this mind state where you really don't even want to run into too many people, if I'm being honest, because you can already tell right when you come around someone that is a part of this. They can just say a couple things and you already know if they're a part of it. You already know. It's a knowing. It's a knowing through words. It's a knowing through thought. You already know. And see, here's why, me as a person, this is why I hesitate to do more and to put out more and to go out here and do more things in the world, because I know that I'm going to run into these people everywhere. It's They Live. It's the movie They Live. But these people don't have big eyes with a blue face and a watch that, oh, there's somebody here, come get them. They're a normal person or whatever. No, it's not like that. these people hide behind internal things. You can't see it on the outside. You have to listen to it. You have to know what it is. You have to have been involved with it so many times and have picked up on it and have put yourself in situations where you were the real and honest one, and you've seen how much people were lying to themselves or didn't want to hear when something needed to be said or whatever. And listen, this social approval, people that look for social approval are cowardly people, because when the time is to speak up about something and to actually say something that needs to be said, they will not say it because of the social approval. You see, they're going to be shunned for saying something that really needs to be said in that time. Or what they'll do is they'll put on the nice person thing, because this all goes with the social approval thing too. Being an extra nice person. And they put that on because they have to make it look like you're the one being offensive, or you're the one being angry, or you're the one being too much of something. When no, actually, it's just you telling the truth and being honest about something. And it's a people that are hidden behind jargon. It's a people that they are not honest. They're not honest people. They're not honest people. They put on the mask and facade in the front every day, every single day. And they think that they need to keep doing this day after day after day after day. And the more that I'm around this, the more that I want to get away from it. I know that I still have to go out and be around people. I know that I got to go to the store in the meantime, and I have to live in an apartment that I'm in. And when I take a walk, I'm going to run into people and whatever. But the fewer people that I can interact with or see, the better off I am. When I'm in my own energy, I'm not saying that I don't have my own problems with this thing. I'm not saying that I don't have my own problems. But when I'm basking in my own energy, I don't have to worry about another person's extra baggage or their drama or their gossip or their bad intentions or whatever BS that they're bringing with them, because most people bring BS with them. It's just how it is. Most people just bring a whole lot of nonsense with them. You know, it's never a thing where people are saying, well, what can I do to help us today? You know, what can we do to help the situation? Is there something that we can do instead of this? Can we do this thing instead of this thing? Well, how about we talk about these things instead of these things? How about we tell ourselves this instead of this? See, you never hear a solution from these people. It's just always blaming everybody else for everything that's going on. And even they're involved. They don't think that they're involved, but even they're involved with the cult, because they're still basing what they say off of the approval of other people. And I hear this on so many channels. I hear this out here on so many people's platforms. They're still associating themselves, they're still comparing themselves to other people, saying, oh, it's not you, it's them people. And it now, I know that doesn't exactly intermingle with what I'm saying, but it's another cult. It's another cult. And there are so many. See, what a cult is something where you have to have the social approval of other people to fit into it. And you can't do anything opposite of what those people are talking about. You can't say anything that if it's a negative group of people and you say something that is on a more positive note, then you're going to be shunned. That's a cult. And there's so many of these on the internet and YouTube. There's so many cults. It's not freedom. It's not a free people. See, when you come here, this is a free platform. This is where people can actually be people and can actually say people things, but yet when we come here, we're responsible for ourselves. We take accountability for our actions. We don't look at another person to say it's your fault for why I am the way that I am. See, or if you have a place where someone has a political view on something, or someone is on the left or the right, whatever, yada, 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 all the BS stuff. If a person comes like people that believe in God and atheists, the reason why they're both a cult is because if the one person, it's all about the social approval. It's all about the social approval. And this is something that I despise in this world. I have a deep-rooted, I don't know if I want to say hatred, or because I know what it is. I know what it is, and I know what it's about, and I know where it leads people. I know the mind state that people get in. They start comparing themselves to everything and everybody. They're always comparing. It's all they know how to do is compare, 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 compare. And if you go on a platform where someone is religious and an atheist comes on there and speaks their mind, and vice versa, if you're on an atheist platform and a religious person comes that does believe in something else, then it's the social approval thing. If you don't say something that we approve of, we the atheists or we the religious folks, then see, you're going to be looked at like the monster. You're going to be looked at like the bad guy, when really someone like me is just being an honest person. I'm a free and honest person. I'm not in bondage to any of this shit no more. I'm not under the rule of anything or anybody. Nobody can put me in a category and say I am this or I am that, because I'm a little of everything. But here's how you can tell these people. And there's so many people that they say that they're not a cultish personality. They say that they would never be involved with a cult and all this shit. They're so full of shit when I hear this stuff. There's so many people that are so full of their own shit out here, and they don't even recognize that they're doing this. They don't even realize that they do this all the time on a daily basis. You would be surprised how much of this world is a cult today because of social media, cell phones, computers, the television. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And the reason why it's everywhere is because anywhere you go, and if somebody else that has a state of mind that I'm right about the thing I believe or the thing I know, I'm right. See, if you talk to somebody and they ask you a question like, well, what do you do? And you tell them what you do. You start talking to them about how you are as a person, and you get brutally honest with that person. Just say it's you and another person talking, and you get brutally honest with them. Right when you hear them say something like, well, why do you do that? Do you think that's a good idea? Well, I don't believe that. See, right there, you know that person is in the cult of social approval. You know right then and there that person, you don't even want to associate yourself with that person. because that person, all that they're going to do is they're going to project all of what they believe that you should believe. All they're going to do is project everything they think you should do and how you should live onto you. And they think you should live that way. And these people are just, they're everywhere. The more that I talk with people, the more I see how we have literally fallen into, I will be so bold as to say, we have fell into a cult and idle mind kind of living. We are of idle minds. We idolize one person over another person, or one thing over another thing. And this is why nobody's free. This is why nobody is thinking of building their own thing, because they're too worried about what the rest of the world is going to think if they go off and build a freaking, metaphorically, I'm saying, say that a huge storm is coming and it's right there in front of, say you're on a planet that it rains for 30 days straight and you get 80 feet of water in that time. And all the people on that planet, you're telling them, look, we must build a ark so that we can survive. And if they believe that it's not going to rain, but it's going to rain, and I'm just using this as a metaphor. Don't think that I'm talking about Noah's flood or Bible thumping you or anything. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying metaphorically. And even that story shows you the ignorance of people. Say that it starts raining and these people are like, oh no, it's just going to rain a little bit. Huh, guys? Huh? It's just going to rain a little bit. And see, that it's the cult. They are the cult of social approval. They don't want to admit that they were wrong, or that the person that said something opposite of them, that knew what they were talking about, that were being honest with them, they can't let their guard down. And I'm not using this example the way that I would like to, but if you're someone intelligent and you can think logically, then more than likely you know what I mean, what I'm saying. But it's become this day and age of, see, I don't like the word follow and like on a channel. I think it should be, instead of like, do you appreciate what this person said? Did you get something from what this person said? And instead of follow, what word would I put there instead of follow? Think for yourself. See, I don't like these words. I don't like these words follow or like. I don't like them, because when we say like, what does that mean? What does like mean? What does it matter if you like me or don't like me? What does it, this word like is almost petty in my opinion. Oh, I like this guy, he's cool with me. Okay, well, what if that guy says one thing that goes against something that you believe that he doesn't believe? Then right away, you're not gonna like that guy anymore. You're gonna look at that guy like he's an asshole or something. And I know this has even happened on my platform. I might have said something where someone might have thought that I was such a cool guy and they liked me a lot. And then I said one or two things that they didn't agree with what I said, and then they ended up not liking me because I said something they didn't agree with. And it's, listen, right there it is again. It's the social approval thing. We are not going to agree on everything, y'all. We are not going to see eye to eye on every little thing in life. And I keep saying this. As long as all of us can be responsible and we can walk our own path and we can get honest with ourselves and we can quit lollygagging around and getting involved with these things just because the world and everybody else is getting involved with it, I'm telling you, it is the ultimate illusion that has been put up in front of our eyes, and most of us are not seeing it. We are not seeing it. We're completely blind to it, but it's right there. It's right there, right in front of you. As soon as you get off this video listening to me, more than likely, some people are going to go right back to the cult of what they've been listening to because they're so enthralled by that. They're so used to comparing themselves to other people. If they don't get the approval of the negative community with the negative people, then it's nothing. You see what I'm saying? This is why I never called myself, I never ever called myself blue pill, red pill, black pill, antinatalist, any of that stuff. And I look, if people call themselves that, I don't care. That's not me. I don't label myself as anything because when you label yourself as something, what you're saying is there is no room for me to be wrong. There is no room for what I am saying to be something else that I thought it was that it wasn't. And then when someone comes along that is the opposite of that, then there is this hatred that comes with it. There is this bitterness and rage and resentment and, oh, you're not like us, get the F out of here. And they turn into a mob. People turn into a mob of angry people all because they don't understand that they are not free individuals. They have not yet freed themselves from the constraints of social approval. Social approval does not mean anything at all. It means nothing to someone like myself. It means nothing. Nothing at all. It is a made up concept. It is a thing that mankind has created over time for themselves. Yes, people were talking back in the day. People were discussing things back in the day, and there was even cults back in the day of social approval. It's been going on ever since man went from small households to larger groups of people. And this only comes about when the conditioned mind of many people get together in a group together to show people, oh, look, don't I have it together, when they know they ain't got everything together. Oh, look, ain't my kid, my kid's getting involved with all the other kids, playing with Mickey Mouse and, you know, the seven dwarves and all this stuff. And we're not teaching our children anything. We're just teaching them to be more stupid. We're just dumbing them down. We're not teaching them how to plant seeds or to build something or to create something or to be productive or showing them what is this, what is that. And it's just, when you see this as a person, you almost feel like you're the only person in the world, if I'm being honest. You just feel, it is a lonely feeling. It really is a lonely feeling. But it's not a lonely feeling to where I feel ashamed or guilty or because I don't fit into the social approval. I'm never going to fit in anywhere, and I'm fine with that. I don't want to fit in anywhere, and you should not want to fit in with me. Don't want to fit in with me. Can you be yourself, and can you be responsible to yourself, and can you have some discipline and decency and well-being towards others and help yourself and someone else when the time is to do that? And start looking for something to be productive with, something to build for ourselves. You know, if we would start thinking like that instead of thinking like all this other stuff that you hear, because so many people, they are so caught up in this social approval trap. They are so caught up in the misery of their life because they will not make the choice to make a lifestyle change and a thought change. They won't change their thought patterns. That's why they keep doing what they're doing. That's why a negative person keeps thinking about negative things because they won't change their thought pattern. This is why somebody that is optimistic about everything and thinks that they have to be happy about everything, it's all a part of the social approval. They think that they have to be that because they think that's where they belong and where they fit in, and actually they're a slave to it. They're dreading actually being like that. They just think that they have to be like that. See, I don't think that I have to be anything. I don't have to be anything for anybody. I don't have to label myself as anything anymore. See, when you hear things like SBN resonate or Nate no quantize or passionate Coleman or any of the nicknames that I have given myself, it is a statement. That's all it is. It's just a statement. It's not a label. It's just it's a moniker. It's a metaphor that I'm saying. That's all. All that I'm saying with what I mean by SBN, it sounds cheesy, but what I mean is I'm somebody, but nobody special. Yes, I'm unique. I'm a unique person, just like every one of you is unique. All of you, you talk different, you act different, you look different, you think different. And then what that means is it's the contradiction of everything. It's the black and white, the up and down. Everything we know to be yin and yang, that resonate. And then that's me resonating it and being truthful with it and being honest with it and taking all of it and doing the thing with it and just letting it be the thing and not trying to make it anything. You see, when you get on this energy and this frequency, because listen, I'm using frequency metaphorically, but frequencies are actually a real thing. Vibrations, frequencies, energies, this shit is real shit. Do you notice when you walk into a room of completely negative people, how you can just cut the air with a butter knife because you can feel the tension in the room? You can literally feel the hatred coming off of somebody else. You can literally feel compassion coming off of someone else that has compassion, because that person took it upon themselves to examine themselves and take a look at their own life and to call out themselves with things in their life. You see? But it's the people that don't do that give off these negative energies, that give off this heaviness, because they're not doing anything to self-reflect. And all they're doing is looking for the approval. If they're a negative person, all they look for is the approval of another negative person so that we can be more negative together. And then it just brings about more negative energy, and all they're looking for is the next negative thing over and over. And it's the same thing with fake positive, happy people that act like everything's fine. They do the same exact thing. They look for other people like that. And then when them people find each other, they're all putting on the thing like everything's fine, everything's good, there's nothing wrong, we're all here. And then they speak with this like they're overly nice. They're overly nice people. And overly nice people are fake people. They're being fake. They're being fake. And see, when you can get this honest with yourself, something happens to where you can sense these energies and you can sense these vibrations and frequencies right when you come around people. You can literally feel it in the air. You can sense it right when you walk in a room, how someone looks at you or reacts or sits or talks or the things they say. It's written all there if you have the discernment for it. It's all there written for you. And And see, the reason I'm saying this is because the reason that I do this and I make videos on my own platform is because I don't have the energy to go out and tell everybody these things. You know, it's if somebody happens to come on my platform and listen, then they happen to come on my platform and listen. I am not going and chasing down people to tell them things like this. But like I said, don't ever assume that people know what you know. We just assume that everybody knows the things that we know. We just assume that someone has been there and done it like us. We just assume that this person has experienced the same thing that we have. And that is foolish, ignorant thinking. Because there are people that you think, you assume know certain things, and they don't know certain things. And listen, even as I'm doing this video, I understand how pointless this is. I understand how kind of stupid this is talking about this. But most people don't want to know this because they don't want to make a lifestyle change for themselves in order to live a life that they really want to live for themselves. They're still going by, I have to be this way for these kinds of people. I have to act this way for these types of people. I have to be this way for them. And if you can't understand what I mean, if you can't understand the essence of what I'm saying, just remember, a cult is a group of people that are looking for social approval. They're constantly seeking the approval of other people to validate what they themselves will not take an honest look at for themselves, or they're not willing to change, or they're not willing to deal with, or they're not willing to get honest with and say, okay, it was me that caused this thing. Instead of me going and blaming everybody else for why this is happening to me taking an honest look at myself and saying, okay, I caused this. See, you're not going to hear too many people say that. And I will tell you right now in this video for myself, I have caused a shitload of problems for myself in my life. I am the reason why a lot of shit went awry and why I am the way that I am today is because of myself. The reason why I'm not where I think that I should be is because of me, is because of me being lazy, is because of me not taking accountability for my life, is because of the actions that I did when I didn't know and I was stupid and unintelligent and dumb and uninformed of certain things that I know now that I would never do now. Trust me, when I get on here, I am not getting on here to preach to the choir. I am on here to tell the choir what I know so that the choir can sing with me. So that we don't have to feel as though when we're singing what we sing that we have to get the approval of the other choir members. We just sing what we sing honestly to get past these petty, stupid things that do nothing for us. You know, if our life is miserable, okay, well, what can we do? What can we honestly do so that we don't have to keep living miserably? You see what I'm saying? It's okay, what is next? What is the next thing here? Okay, you're having a bad time and you're in need of something. Okay, well, what can I do to help you today if I have it to help you? Instead of saying, oh, well, you need to do this and, you know, you should have thought about it and all this stuff. No, okay, well, what can I do to help? And then in the meantime, you have to take responsibility for the thing, though. You see, it can't be you're just always expecting somebody to do something for you or for, see, we have this thing in our head that if something goes wrong for us, it's everybody else's fault and someone else is supposed to come and do something about it. You're highly mistaken if you think like that in this life. You have got to expect the worst to happen. You have got to expect that you are going to lose people in your life. People are going to walk away from you. People are going to shun you. People are going to talk about you. People are going to not like you for no reason at all. It's just the way we are. It's just the way we are as people. And there's even some people, I admit this myself, there's even some people that I will come across and there's just something about them that I have a pet peeve about. And they didn't do anything. But I don't hate the person. It's just there's just something there that it's really weird. It's like I'm looking and watching them and I just sense that they're somehow fooling themselves, or they're not being honest. They're putting on something. And when I sense that, now, am I completely right? No, I might not be completely right. But most of the time, if you can really discern things and you hear people say what they say, you should know what a conditioned mind is. You should know someone that is indoctrinated with a bunch of things by the way that they speak. You should know how programmed someone is by the way they talk to you, by the way they act, by the way they say something happened to me. They hurt my feelings in this kind of way. See, if your feelings are still being hurt at this point, you are still involved with the social approval thing. You're still involved with the petty things if your feelings are getting hurt. See, someone that is logical, someone that knows and has knowledge and is logical, you should not get offended by anything. There is nothing in this world that can offend you. Words should not offend you at all. Words are just words that are spoken from someone. That's all it is. When people say words can hurt you, no, they can't hurt you. Words cannot hurt you. Now, if somebody's taking it to such extremes to go overboard, to insult you for something, then speak up for yourself. Say something. But besides that, words cannot hurt you. Now, if you have to have self-defense with something, that's where the martial arts comes into play. See, every man should... There's something that, I don't know if it was Jordan Peterson, or I don't agree with everything that Jordan Peterson says. I'm just saying he said this. He said, be a monster, but be in control of the monster. You see what I'm saying? Be capable of being a monster, but be able to control that thing. And that's how I honestly feel a lot of the times. There's some times where I want to rip this thing apart out here and I want to break it down and I want to just say enough is enough. Why do we keep doing this dumb, stupid shit? And I want to completely give it a makeover. But then I have to have self-control and say, look, you can't do it like that. But most people, they don't know how to correlate self-control in with martial arts. You see, and this is why the arts is something that is one of the most unique things on this earth, because it is meant for everybody. If all of us would practice martial arts of the mind and physically, this planet would be completely different. But martial arts, I think, is only for an intelligent being. It is for someone that understands the state of humanity and the world as it is and can control things when it needs to be controlled. They can act when things need to be acted upon. They can say things that others won't say when it needs to be said. And that's why martial arts, a craft, being honest with oneself and being responsible and having discipline. This is why these things are so important for the individual person. Because if you are a logical person, if you are someone that is not involved with any cult of social approval, these are the things, these are the tools that you must use for yourself. These are the tools that are going to be there, is the arts. Is you being honest with you. It doesn't matter what Joe, Jack, and Jill think of you. It doesn't matter what they're doing, because more than likely, all they're doing is judging you for what you're doing. All they're doing is just throwing all of their things that they're not dealing with at you. So let them go, let them be. They're gonna be anyway. Like I said in the last video, there is 8 billion people here. Do you think that you can control 8 billion people on this planet? You have to say, fuck it. And it isn't, look, I don't like cursing like that, but you have got to get in an effort mentality, but yet still be responsible for yourself. You have got to be able to say, look, fuck them, fuck the world, fuck it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what 8 billion people are doing. You know, it's focus on yourself and get honest with yourself first. And then you can maybe help yourself to help other people. That's when you will be a living testament unto what you say and what you do. Because I'm not going to say anything that I'm not going to do. I'm not going to tell you anything that I have not thought of or have been in deep meditating sessions of thinking, sitting in a chair, or when I'm driving, or when I'm sitting or laying down and going over these things. You know, this isn't something that just popped up out of nowhere. This isn't like I just watched a half-hour video and said, oh yeah, I like this guy, so I'm going to tell everybody this thing. Even that is a part of the approval cult that I'm talking about, the social approval cult. When somebody, they watch something and it makes them feel good about it, and right away, they're so quick to praise that thing. There's nothing wrong that you felt good about watching it. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you got something that inspired you to get through the day. But is it something that is actually sustainable? Is it something that is actually something that you're not just going to blurt out today and then the next day say, oh, well, that thing, I liked it yesterday, now today I hate it. And this is what a lot of people do. They're so persuaded by their feelings right away. And even I have to watch this because my feelings, yes, feelings are a great thing to have feelings, to feel something, to feel the vibration in the music, to feel the vibes of the music, or to feel good drinking a cup of coffee, or to feel good getting a shower. I'm not talking about that kind of feel good. I'm talking about emotional mind feeling good, because this is where people can be tricked and fooled. This is where people can be played with. This is where they can grab your attention, just like so many people did in history before, just like Hitler grabbed the people's attention, just like Joseph Stalin, just like so many people. I could give you a ton of people if I sat here and thought. People that were charismatic people are people to be very weary of. Just because they're charismatic, that doesn't mean anything. See, that's just getting to your emotions. And that person plays on your emotions with things. See, the person that is a unique, honest, down-to-earth individual, they will tell you things, they will self-reflect. They will tell you how they really feel about the world and themselves. They will get honest in their craft. See, Hitler was not honest. He was lying to the people. He was deceiving the people. He was telling people things to get them rallied up, saying that we are better than these people. Our blood is pure and theirs is not. And these ideologies, they are another form of the social approval cult. They're just another form. And there's so many forms of it. See, do you understand this? Do you understand that there are many forms of the social approval cult in this world? And they were called socialists. The Nazis were socialists. So right there goes to show you exactly what I'm saying. It's right there. The Nazi Socialist Party. They were socialists. It was a social approval thing. If you're not doing what we're doing, if you're not wearing what we're wearing, if you're not our race, if you're not thinking what we're thinking, you see? So sometimes I even wonder to myself, why do I even talk about these things with people? Like why do I do this? Why do I even get on a video and discuss this and put it out sometimes? I really wonder, because I even wonder how many people actually get this. How many people are actually taking notes or actually listening or actually not forcefully applying this to their lives, but they think before they act with it. But it's not something to where it feels forced. You see, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be something that it gives you freedom as a person. I want us to be free individuals. I want us to think for ourselves, but be responsible for ourselves. I want us to know ourselves, to know each other, to be able to be honest, to confront, to be willing to say things that when people don't want to say it, be the one to say it. You know, when it says confess your faults to one another, how many people do that? How many people confess their faults to one another? In this day and age, everybody's lying to one another. Everybody's putting on for one another. People ain't telling their faults and when I say faults, I mean misunderstandings. I mean things that we thought was something that wasn't something. I'm not doing this blaming thing like everything's your fault, like you've sinned with so many things or you did this and that, because most things that people call sin, they're not really sin. They're just the natural state of man, like sex and other things. Sex is not a sin. Rape is a sin. You see, sex is not a sin. It all depends on what you're doing with it. The way that it's acted upon is what becomes the sin, how we associate sin to be sin. It's when you do something that is morally wrong to another person. Having sex with someone, that's not morally wrong, you know? And even, this is very off topic, but I just want to put this out there because I don't even know if people think like this. Say that there is a married man that has sex with his wife 4 days out of the week, 2 times a day, so 8 times a week. And then say there is a man that is not married that has sex, we'll just say sex with a woman, the same thing, 4 days, 2 times a day out of the week. What makes the one wrong and the one right? Because the one has paperwork, because the one has a ring on their finger, because the one made a vow to what they think is their God in their mind, that somehow that gives them the right to do that, and then the other person, they don't have the right to do that. It makes no sense. And this is why this is just me being honest. If I could, I would be a polygamist. I would have many women in my corner if I could, because I love women and I love sex, and I like being around women more than men, just to be truthfully honest. I like being around women. I've always wanted to be around women. Women are just more open about things. You can talk to women a little more. You can be you around women. It isn't like this me versus you thing with men, like this like manly competition going on. I don't want to be in any competition with any man. I want to be my own man. I want to do my own thing. I want to be my own sigma male. I don't want to be a alpha male in charge of other males, telling other males what to do, where to do. Nah, I'll never be an alpha male. I will always be a sigma male, and I love being a sigma male. I love being a sigma male. And if I could give you anything, if I could give you my energy today, what I would want to give you is for you to be a sigma male too. But see, it's a knowing thing. It isn't something you boast about. It isn't something where you force yourself to be a sigma male. You just know you're a sigma male. And that's cool. That's great. But see, I believe in polygamy. I believe because there's more women than there are men in the world, and women need to be satisfied too. So why wouldn't I satisfy a couple women? Why wouldn't I satisfy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 women? I would if I could. I would be like I would be like I don't know what who it was in the Bible. I know the name, I just can't think of it. I wouldn't have 1,000 concubines. I don't think that's just way too much. But yes, I would. But what I'm saying here is there is nothing wrong. See, if you are someone that was brought up with certain doctrine and you were told that sex is a sin, then you're going to call me a sinner. You're going to say that I am in my lust and I am overindulging in my lust. It has nothing to do with that. Because if you are responsible for what you're doing and you're accountable and it's mutual and you both want to do that thing, there's absolutely nothing wrong. If you're safe and you're not raping them or hurting them or having kids, there's nothing wrong with it at all. So I don't see anything different in if I have sex with a woman that likes me and then another one that likes me. If I have sex with 4 different women out of the week and I have sex 2 times with each woman, but this married guy has sex with his wife 2 times in the day, 4 days a week, there's absolutely no difference. It's just the number of people. See, we are a number world, and the number game comes from social approval. I really, really, really hope you're getting this. If I hope anything, I hope you're getting this with me, because I'm telling you, you know what? I'm going to go as far to even say, you know what? I do want to start my own thing. I really, really do want to start my own thing, and I am going to start my own thing. It's because I know this world, it has nothing to offer. This world has nothing to offer me anymore. I'm done with this world. A real down to earth, unique man will come to the same conclusion as me. You will, if you don't want to be your own boss, and I'm not talking about, I'm just saying boss metaphorically. I'm not talking about like when these rappers say I'm a boss and having all these things. I don't mean it in that way. I mean being in control of my own destiny, doing what I want to do, making my own kingdom, building my own thing up from the ground. You see, that like you'll get to a point where you just see that all else you're chasing an illusion for yourself. You're still seeking the approval of society that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all. This is all just a made up thing that we as a society or social people have made up. And I'm telling you, don't fall victim to this social approval cult, because it's everywhere. It's everybody looking for everybody else's approval, and nobody's really doing anything. Everybody's just putting on for everybody, saying, oh, look what I got. Look what I bought today. Ain't I fitting in now? Look at the music video I made. Don't I look like everybody else on social media? Look at me. Look at me. See, these people that want this, they want this forced clout attention. Stay away from people like that, because they will do anything. They will step on you. They will mock you. They will ridicule you. They will spit on you behind your back. They'll do all kinds of things in the name of, look at me, don't I fit in with everybody else? And look at this guy, he don't agree with us. See, these people, they are literally the fabric of all the problems that go on in our world. And start seeing this with me. Start seeing this with me, but I'm not looking for your approval. And you shouldn't be looking for my approval either. See, I never, ever, ever want to make this platform or my channel or my life a cult. I want it to be a free-minded place where free-minded and responsible individuals and creators and creative people and people that want to do some kind of craft with me to come on board with that, but we're still individual people. And when things need done, we get things done. And when someone needs help, we help each other. You see, it's coming to